and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land. Number 16:11. For which cause both you and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord, and what is Aaron that you 6:40 not amongst yourselves? Ye as some of them also murmur. Exodus 15:24, and the drink the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree which he then cast into the waters, and the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and they proved him. 14:10. The children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians after them, and they were sore afraid. Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Therefore thou hast dealt us forth out of Egypt. If you said, it seems like the theme in this is the murmuring. I believe that we are now in a bit of extremism. I think it has pushed everyone and everybody in our society to such that there is so much anxiety going on, and that everything has to be taken to its nth. Now, I agree that things happen. I agree that we have a flood because it was so great. There are storms. Some reason for calamity. We all expect something. There's a high tension. Anticipate something, whether biblical anticipation or just an earthly anticipation. There's anticipation of calamity. Intellectualism, into understand. 2 Timothy 4 and 3. Just for a moment. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, not doing anything about it, but this was their society. So God's going to take them out, and God's got to prove himself to be God because he knows what is coming. He's already seen it. He's already led them there. Now, in their heart, and what is that feeling? Entitlement is and that God ought to think like I think and ought to do this the way I do them. That is what's there. Obviously, when you take roughly 6 million people, you for 2 years and give them water, the livestock, the fact of just how do you get 6 million people to walk in a straight line, and how do you know they do? I mean, it'll blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Okay? Probably the best thing you do is you don't think too much about it. Okay, guys, let's make sure we have all our gear together. Let's make sure we have all of our means of transportation. Let's make sure where are the sick? Have we got the hospital ready? Have we got this? What about, how many women are going to have babies? Oh no, all this. You realize you wouldn't have let, because you didn't put 6 million people? Never would have happened. God said, when you hear the trumpet, leave. Leave now. Go. Assemble it together. Get shoes on. Get what you can carry and boogie. Now, I think he had to do that simply out into the wilderness. And whatever they had, I'm sure they had water to carry. And soon that ran out. Now, at that level, first thing they encountered, and in their hearts, they stopped to think, do I believe in God? And the answer was no. So let us die. What, you bring us out here? What egotistical Jews. Oh, God is good at parting seas. You notice how many stories or compartments we put God carte blanche about his. If he does anything, oh my goodness, we were saved from a wreck. Across the situation where my washing machine stops. Oh my God. Instead of just a God of wrecks. Once seeing that, now I have washing machine and wrecks. But that's all. I won't spread all understanding, all power. I've got a God of wrecks and washing machine problem. Oh my God. My food. And then, but no other. Oh, you part water, but this is bitter. Texas to drink bitter water. Oh my, line them up and kill them. Where's Hitler when you eat in so long? Here's the quail that fly in, and you don't have to hunt them. You don't have to chase them down, because they flew all the way and flopped on the sand, coincidentally, right where you at the same time. Now go pick them up. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to kill them and eat them. Oh, it's such a drudgery. Of good water and a God of quail so I can eat meat. Oh yeah, and I got a manna. The dryer in there. I expanded my God. I got an automobile with ugly people around me. Ha ha! Where's God when you need him? Sound familiar? It ought to. It ought to. Now, do you ever realize there'd be a pattern there? That God doesn't show up before? That God doesn't problem before you get there? That you see the problem, recognize the problem, because the next thing is you've got to determine, is your God able to expand the washing machine, the dryer, the freezer? Can it expand to people? With anxiety. Why did he burn? Why did he show mints of narcissism and self-control, and I am pissed because I want when I want it, just as I want it? Yes, Satan. Is this off? But it sure sounds off. You sure? I just hate for it to be there if it doesn't sound off. So, is there a God like that? Yeah. God of delusion, drama. See, well, look at his. Bow down to me, and I will give you all the cities of the world. Bow down to me. Okay. Eat the apple, and you shall be as gods. How do you like that, Eve? Enjoying being a god? Hey, Eve. After 3 boys and going through the pain of birth, you like my way now? No. You see, faith, now mark this down in your brain. Faith is purpose realized. Faith is purpose realized. Okay? Murmur is to disbelieve. Why? God could have made it easy. And he didn't have to take 2 years to get to the promised land. Yeah. You'd think God who created the world would know a shorter route than the one he took. And you'd think if he had all this in mind, he could at least gone by the Mediterranean so they could have got a suntan while they went to the promised land. Or at least had something better. What he was hoping and working on is when they finally got to the giants, which was something they were going to have to do themselves, with him power, you were thinking he was thinking they'd be saying, okay, look, let's figure on this. The manna, the quail, the water. He's helped us in battle. Why should it be any different now than it was all along for 2 years? But they failed. They failed. Remember the report of the spies? Oh my God! We are in their eyes as grasshoppers. And they are in our eyes as grasshoppers. They never unlocked the drama. They never lost the drama. Never did. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. Now, let me tell you this. God does not, will not, and cannot work with drama people. God will not, cannot work with drama people. Because it's drama replacing faith. It's murmuring replacing praise. It's complaining replacing action. Because all they do is murmur. They work it out in their own mind of murmuring, but they never work it with faith. You know? If you murmur, just check it out, guys. Every time you murmur, you lost your faith. You have no faith. Complain, murmur. Well, Mike, what would you really call murmuring? Because I don't think I murmur. I backtalk a little bit. I complain a little bit. I gripe a little bit. But I don't murmur. Do you have any anxiety when you can't accomplish a goal you think you should accomplish? Murmur! You ever get depressed when you don't get your way the way you think should be done? Murmur! So I'm thinking you murmur. And you know what, folks? If you ever realize that you and I are going to face the problem before God arrives with a solution, if you will think about that, then you'll know that when you have a problem, God's not there yet, but He's coming. Now I'm going to tell you something. We're just about to get out of this wilderness, and we're just about to head for some promised land. It's the most crucial time of your whole life. If you murmur, you will not make it. If you murmur, you will stay behind. If you murmur, you will go into delusion. Because delusion is a drug that causes you not to think reality, but the drama of fantasy. I got a question. How many of you watch TV shows and get anxious if the hero doesn't seem to be prevailing? How many of you watch TV shows and get anxious because you think the hero actually died? Huh? I like real shows. I'm going to watch Independence Day Resurrection. Kind of because it's exciting to delude your mind while you're watching it as if the aliens may win. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you've got the idea that maybe, just maybe, we as human beings are going to pull it off again for the 5th time. Maybe. Stop it. Stop murmuring. Put it in your mind. If I face a problem, it's because of purpose. God is, as a good soldier, God is causing me to understand what I'm dealing with. My friends, there is so much anxiety going on. Look, here's what I tell you. I don't care if you're a chemtrail believer. I don't care if you're a conspiracy theorist or something else. We are inundated. We are inundated. We are inundated with anxiety and crush and push. And something's happening right now where, how many of you find out that you can't even do things you want to do because your energy level just goes Just like that. Your mental level collapses before you want to. Every time you think about something, sometimes you feel the sides are pressing in on you and there's not enough time to get anything done that you need to do and everything else. You think it's not an indication of the release of evil in the world? It's the power of delusion pushing on us. And it will push on you, my friends. It will push on you. But you're going to have a strategy for pushing back. You're going to have to go, hey, you know what? I can murmur. God's going to do it anyway. So isn't it better just to believe and see God doing it? And you know what? If I can't get it done today, maybe it's not meant to be done today. Maybe I don't worship. You know, I have a Bible. I have a Bible, and then I have a Bible. This is my Bible. This is my list Bible. You know what my list Bible is? It's everything I put on a list to do that's biblical, but has no reference to the Bible. It doesn't even have reference to God most of the time. It just has reference to what I want to accomplish. It's my own personal Bible. So when I refer to Micah 5:5, you know which Bible I'm reading. The Bible of lists. The Bible of to-dos. The Bible of I'm more important doing my thing than is sitting back and enjoying the peace of God doing things. But you know what, my friends? I got to tell you something. We're going to face a time of the giants. And if you can't reconcile that your God is bigger and your God is a God over the giants, I'm afraid when that time comes, it will overwhelm us and we'll turn around and we'll go back. Now, here's the point you need to look at. In their arrogance, once they were told they couldn't go in the promised land, the Jews said, well, we'll go up and do it. We'll go in here and defeat it. If this is our land, yeah. We don't want to go back. We'll go up and we'll attack those people. And you'll see God. All by ourselves, we will accomplish what you are not going to accomplish through us. And so they went against them. First battle. The very first battle ever fought was fought 38 years before Joshua crossed the Jordan River the second time. Because Joshua went in to spy out the land. And you know what happened? They got it handed to them. They got defeated. They got run. They got driven. They were running into the wilderness because the armies were chasing them. See, we can do it ourselves. We don't need you, God. You know, all this time, we're capable. No, you're not. No, you're not. Folks, some of the things that face us would be as insurmountable as trying to get water for 6 million people for 2 years in the wilderness. And that's just one aspect. So when the time comes, he's going to tell us, pack it and leave it. Get out. Now, what are you going to do when you face the giants if you murmur over everything else? If you murmur over getting your things accomplished, if you murmur over not doing what you want to do, if you murmur over this or that, or the things that are not important. No one can drag you into the promised land. Even the ones who were 19 years old and younger, who were going into the promised land, they had to go back out into the wilderness for 38 years before even they could come back. So it won't be for the sake of your kids. It won't be for the sake of your grandkids, because you'll drag them right back into the wilderness. What do we know? We meet the problem first, and we realize that we're not capable of solving it. First thing. Now, the second thing to do is murmur, complain, despair. No, the second thing is to go, okay, God is a God of purpose, and he only acts in purpose, and nothing would be done without purpose. And this problem is a part of purpose. So I'm going to wait and see the salvation of my God and do what he says do when he says it. If it's cut down the tree and put in the water and it turns sweet, yay, amen. If it's strike the rock, yay, amen, I'm going to strike the rock. I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to stop and turn around. Here's the problem I see. Every time the children of Israel murmured, God answered their prayer and solved it. Except the last time. I was thinking they thought there was no consequence to murmur because God always stepped in and saved them. Until the last time. Until the final time. Don't know if you know when the final time comes. But a murmurer is like a pathological liar. They just keep lying because now they enjoy the lie. Not just deceiving, they just enjoy the lie. Some people just enjoy the murmur. Some people just enjoy complaining. Some people just enjoy being annoyed by everything around them. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Friends, listen to me. You have no excuse being upset, pity party, griping, complaining, and murmuring to or about anybody around you. They don't affect you. You affect you. If I'm not happy, it's my problem, not theirs. Oh, Sarah was helping me work on the truck. Do you know how when you make a mistake, it is so compelling to blame the people who are working with you? It is so easy to want to blame them for it. And it's so natural because they're right there. And because they don't know, and you get away with it. I dropped a bolt. And of course, Sarah's like, did I do something wrong? Don't ask that question. At this point, yes. You stood there. Wrong. No, you didn't do anything wrong. I did something wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I dropped the bolt. Folks, it's a battlefield. As a good soldier, endure hardships. The hardships are, we're going to have a problem. Don't turn into the delusion. Don't turn to the drama. Save the drama for your mama. Okay? Now, if you need to, well, let me recommend you start putting little Post-its around places that say, save the drama for your mama, or think about it, the solution is coming, or your faith is not murmuring. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? You think it's going to be okay. I got news for you. It's not going to be okay. That's not something we do. We lose faith and we have nothing to walk with. Okay, I'm going to quit because the Baptists have already stopped an hour ago. Think about it, folks. More of us is expected of us, but more grace is given to us otherwise. Let's walk in it. Let's live it. We need it. We're going to see giants. We got to be prepared for battle. I guarantee you, had they walked into the promised land then without murmuring, they would have whipped anybody, just like they did when they came back. It just took them 38 years to reconcile it, and the death of everybody over 19. Which says something about us old codgers. I'm speaking of Sarah and Kelly primarily. You got to think of what is modern and right before you, not just the old ways surpass.